Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today we will discuss Angular basic interview questions. So in this session, so we'll see what will be the basic interview questions for the beginners. Let's start with the first question. So what is Angular? So you can explain in a way that Angular is an open source web application development framework created by Google. It is used to build front-end single page applications that runs on JavaScript. It is full-fledged framework, that is, it takes care of many aspects of front-end web applications such as HTTP requests, routing, layouts, forms, reactivity, validation, etc. Let's move to the next question. The second question is, what are all the technologies used in Angular? So Angular is a modern front-end JavaScript framework developed by Google. So Angular itself makes a use of several technologies for several reasons to accomplish certain tasks easily, as well as to allow developers to have a better experience while developing application with it. So Angular uses TypeScript, which is subscript of JavaScript. So any valid JavaScript is a valid TypeScript. However, TypeScript allows us to write JavaScript such as strongly typed language, and we can define our own types as well. So it makes catching bugs much easier. It also uses RxJS, which allows developers to better deal with asynchronous operations. Let me move on to the next question. Why were client-side frameworks like Angular introduced? So before JavaScript-based client-side framework, the way dynamic websites work was by taking a template that is nothing but HTML code, with the spaces left empty for feeding data and content into those templates. This data was usually fetched from database, and after combining the template and data, we would serve the generated HTML content back to the user. So as you can see, it was a bit of complicated, and in some cases, it took a lot of processing. To overcome this kind of issues, people came up with another approach in which they send the necessary data to the rendering page from their web services to the web browser and let JavaScript combine this data with a predefined template. Since now even mobile phones are powerful enough to do this kind of a processing, the servers can now just send the data to a client over the internet in a recognizable format. So that is JSON, XML, etc. So this practically reduces the processing done on the servers and improves the performance. Let's go to the fourth question. So what is the difference between Angular and AngularJS? So let's see what are all the features which is available in Angular and what was there in AngularJS. So what are all the major differences between these two? So when it comes to architecture, it makes a use of directives and components. So when it comes to AngularJS, it supports a model view controller or MVC model. Language, it uses TypeScript language, a superset of JavaScript that is typically typed statically. So AngularJS uses JavaScript, dynamically typed language. So expression syntax used in Angular, it uses users to bind an event while file is used to bind a property. And in case of AngularJS, it requires a professional to use the correct ng directive to bind a property or an event. And when it comes to mobile support, Angular offers mobile support. Unlike Angular, AngularJS does not offer more mobile support. So routing. So when it comes to routing, it uses at the rate route config, and when it comes to AngularJS, it uses route provider.when. Dependency injection. So Angular, it supports hierarchical dependency injection along with the undirectional tree based change direction. So AngularJS, it does not support dependency injection. So when it comes to structure for Angular, it simplifies the structure, makes it easy for professional to develop and maintain large application easily. And when it comes to AngularJS, it is comparatively less manageable. Let's go to the next question. What are some of the advantages of using Angular? Using Angular has several advantages, which are listed below. First one is Angular is built using TypeScript, which allows developers to write strongly typed code that will get transpiled into JavaScript. The benefit of strongly typed code are that it's easy to read and maintainable and less prone to errors. And also it provides better tooling with type of hints and code completion. And Angular allows us to separate our code into modules. which can be used to wrap functionalities related to a specific task, such as HTTP communication, data validation, routing, etc. And also, Angular has a large ecosystem of tools, libraries, framework, plugins, etc., that makes the whole development experience much faster and enjoyable. So these tools and libraries include Angular, CLI, RxJS, NGRX, etc. Let's go to the next question. What do you mean by data binding? So data binding is among the most and powerful features that help in establishing communication between the DOM and the component. It makes that a defining process of interacting application simple, as you no longer need to panic about the data pushing or pulling between the component and the template. So you can see some of the data bindings in Angular. So the first one is event binding, second one is property binding, third one is string interpolation, and the fourth one is two-way data binding. Let's go to the next question. What are some disadvantages of using Angular? So although Angular provides quite a lot of benefits, there are some disadvantages of using it as well. So you can see some of the disadvantages here. So getting good SEO results on an Angular application can be a bit of difficult and may need a bit of configuration. And Angular has a lot of features packed into it. So getting to know each of them and the learning how to use them efficiently together can be a little difficult. And Angular can add quite a lot of weight to your JavaScript bundle. So using it for a smaller project can be very inefficient and may significantly increase the load size. So these are all some of the disadvantages. You can find it in the Angular applications. So let's go to the next question. So what do you mean by string interpolation? So string interpolation in Angular, also known as the mustache syntax, so only allows a one-way data binding. So it is a special syntax that makes use of double curly braces. So you can see the curly braces. It looks like mustache. So that's why it's called as a mustache syntax. So that it can display the component data. So what are the component data which is present there? So it can easily display it over there. Inside the braces are the JavaScript expressions that Angular needs to execute and to retrieve the result, which can further be inserted into HTML code. So moreover, as a part of the digestive cycle, these expressions are regularly updated and stored. This is all about the interpolation, string interpolation. Let's go to the next question. What are the differences between Angular decorator and annotation? So in Angular decorators, design patterns that help in modification or decoration of the respective classes without making changes in the actual source code. So annotations, on the other hand, are used in Angular to build an annotation array. So they use the reflective metadata library and our metadata set of the given classes. Let's move to the next question. So what is an AOT compilation in Angular? So the AOT, ahead of time compilation in Angular, converts Angular HTML and TypeScript code into JavaScript code during the build phase. So which makes the rendering process much faster. So this compilation process is needed since Angular uses TypeScript and HTML code. The compiler converts the code into JavaScript, which can then be effectively used by the browser that runs our application. Let's move on to the next question. So what are all the advantages of AOT? AOT compilation has several advantages, and the first one is fast rendering. Since after compilation, the browser would download a pre-compiled version of our application, it can render the application immediately without compiling the app. So less asynchronous request, it takes external HTML templates and CSS styles sheets and inline with them. So within the application JavaScript, which reduces the number of separate Ajax requests. Smaller downsize. The compiler will minify the code for us so that the download size is less. And the next point is the template error detection. During the compilation phase, any issues in the templates will be detected and reported by the compiler so that they can be corrected before the production. Let's move to the next question. So what are all the components in Angular? See, components are the basic building blocks of the Angular. And a component consists of HTML, CSS, JavaScript for a specific portion of a user interface. So we can think of this as a custom HTML elements that only Angular can understand. These components are isolated. That is, styles code from the one component don't affect the other component as they get namespace by the compiler. So you could see here, I just provided an example. You can, it always a component started with a decorator at the component. You can see that selector, it's a component name. Here in this case, is my app is a component name, and it has some default template. So just like normal, a div element and h1 tag is there. So just like this passing app title over there. So this is something sample, like a small example how the component will look like. So this is about the components in Angular. You can see here. So how we can generate a component. So we can just use this ng generate component and follow by the component name. So in this case, the component name is server2. Let's go on to the next question. So what all modules in Angular? A module is a logical boundary of our application. It used to encapsulate code and dealing with a lot specific aspect ratio of the application, such as routing, HTTP, validation, etc. The main reason why modules are used to enhance the application composability. For an example, if we wish to implement the validation logic using different libraries, then for the one we have already implemented, we can create a new validation module and replace the current one with a new one. So, and our application would work just the same way. So in Angular, we can create module using ng module decorator. So you can see here. So the Angular, our ng module will just exactly look like this. You can see we do have a decorator. So declarations, all the components in the module will use this, and it also imports all other modules our app will use. And also it has the bootstrap, the component that will display when we start the application. So what you have finally, we export our class. So what we have in the imports. So notice that we import everything that we will be using. So this how your ng module will look like. The next question is, what is DOM? The full form of DOM is Document Object Model, and it is responsible for representing the content of a web page and changes in the architecture of our application. So here all the objects are organized in the form of a tree, and the document can easily be modified, manipulated, and accessed only with the help of APIs. And the next question is, what are all services in Angular? The services in Angular is a term that covers broad categories of functionalities. A service is a value, function, or feature that an app needs. A service is typically used to accomplish a very narrow purpose, such as HTTP communication, sending data to a cloud service, decoding some text, validating data, etc. A service does one thing and does it well. So it is a different from the component, as it is not concerned with HTML or any other kind of presentation logic. So normally a component uses multiple services to accomplish multiple tasks. So you can see here, you can see how our service get generated. You can generate a new service by using this ng space g yes and followed by the service name, or else you can also provide ng space generate space service name. And once you do that, you can see here I created a service call service. So you can just look like this once you just created a service. This is all about the service. So what is the difference between jQuery and Angular? So the main difference between the jQuery and Angular is that the jQuery is a JS library, whereas Angular is a JS front-end framework. Some of the other differences between these two are mentioned below. Unlike jQuery, Angular offers 2S data binding. So unlike Angular, jQuery does not offer support for the RESTful API. Angular support deep linking routing, while jQuery doesn't. Form validation is available in Angular, but not in jQuery. So although they have their differences, Angular and jQuery also have their set of similarities, like both jQuery and Angular expressions consist of variables, operators, and literals. So these are some of the differences between jQuery and Angular. Let's move on to the next question. What are all lifecycle hooks in Angular? So when we're building an Angular app, there will be times when we need to execute some of the code at some specific event, such as when a component is initialized or displayed on the screen, or when the component is being removed from the screen. So whenever it is like there are some possibilities like it depends on when you want to execute some piece of code on a particular event. So that's how this when this life cycle looks comes into picture. So this is what life cycle looks are used for. For an example, we can just look into an example. If you have some event listener attached to an HTML in a component such as button click or a form submission, we can remove that event listener before removing the component from the screen. Just like we can fetch some data and display it on the screen in a component after the component is loaded on the screen. To use lifecycle hook, we can override some of the methods on a component such as ng on init or ng after view init. So these methods, if available on a component, will be called by Angular automatically. This is why this will be called as lifecycle hooks. So you can see here. So these are all some of the lifecycle hooks. So ng on changes. It's called after a bound input property changes. And ng on init. So called once the component is initialized. ng to check. So called during every change detection run. So ng after content init. Called after content has been projected into view. ng after content checked. Called every time the project content has been checked. ng after view init. Called after the component's view and child views has been initialized. ng after view checked. Called every time the view and the child views have been checked. So ng on destroy. Called once the component is about to be destroyed. So these are all the different life cycle. So you can see in Angular. So let's go to the next question. So what all templates? Angular templates are written using HTML that includes attributes and elements that are specific to an Angular. The templates are further combined with data from controller and the model, which can be rendered to offer the user dynamic view. The next question is, what is two-way data binding? Two-way data binding is done in Angular to ensure that the data model is automatically synchronized in the view. For an example, when a user updates some data in the model being displayed in the multiple places in a component, that update should be reflected in all the places. So two-way data binding has been supported in Angular for a long time. So although it is something that should be used with a careful consideration, as it could lead to the poor application performance or performance degradation as time goes on. It's called two-way data binding because we change some data that is in the component model from the view that is HTML, and the change also propagates to all other places when the view where it is displayed. This is about the two-way data binding. We can see here, we can see just an example. So we do have a class app component, and like you can say, we have just a defined title. There's something like this, just a one-way data binding. What you can see here, just like we can see mustache. We can provide you that. So it's completely the data what you can see over here. It's directly flowing from component to HTML, and there's not a two-way data binding. So this is supposed to be, I mean, this back in the like interpolation, string interpolation. So this is an example for interpolation. You can see here. So we do have a variable which is declared over the title, and what we're doing in the HTML. So we're just putting the double braces, double curly brackets, and just close that and provide the title name. That is a variable. So that means like we are passing the value from component back to the HTML. This is just a one way. And ng model, that is one which is used to pass the data between HTML to component and component to HTML. The next question is, what are pipes in Angular? So when we're trying to output some dynamic data in our template, we may sometimes need to manipulate or transform the data before it puts into our templates. Though there are several ways of doing it. So in Angular, uses pipes is most preferred way. Pipe is just a simple function which can use with expression in our templates. So pipes are extremely useful when we can use them throughout our application. After declaring them just once, we just run them with the Angular framework. Some of the most common built-in pipes which is present in Angular are uppercase pipe, lowercase pipe, currency pipe, etc. So you can see here, if you're just going to use uppercase pipe, so whatever text you provide, it's going to convert everything to uppercase. So we do have a lowercase pipe. You can just see all the text which is whatever the type like you provide. So it's going to convert everything into lowercase. So currency pipe. So here, if whatever the value you pass it, so whatever the currency you present it, so based on that, you just display it. If you just provide INR, it is just going to take it as INR. Here it is taken a dollar. You can see that like currency pipe is taking care of it. And date pipe. So what are the if you're passing some date like string data, and if you want to convert to date pipe, you can use date pipe. And decimal pipe. So that is one thing. If you want to convert the values to decimal, you can just do that. And JSON pipe. So it will convert all the value whatever you're passing into JSON. And percentage, it powers your data in the percentage. Slice pipe. So what it will do, for an example, so if I have an array, it will just slice it and give you the data. So these are all some of the pipes which is available inside the Angular. Let's move on to the next question. What are observables in Angular? So this is very important question. So an observable is a declarative way using which we can perform asynchronous tasks. Observables can be thought as a as streams of data flowing from publisher to subscriber. They're similar to promises as they both deal with the handling asynchronous request. So, however, observers are considered to be the better alternative promises, as the former comes to with a lot of operators that allows developers to better deal with asynchronous request, especially if there is more than one request at a time. Observers are preferred by many developers as they allow them to perform multiple operations such as combining two observables, mapping an observable into another observable, and even piping multiple operations through an observable to manipulate its data. So you can see here. So what we have here, so just have one get data. So here I'm I'm defining my data, which receives all the numbers from a method get data. You could see here in the constructor what I'm doing. I'm just calling get this dot get data. So what are the data which I'm getting from the particular method? So I'm just going to subscribe it back to the this dot my data. So this how you are like, so you can just see here, you are just importing observable of subscription from RxJS. This is a small example for your how this observables how the subscription happens when you call a particular method and get that particular data. Now how you can just go ahead and unsubscribe it. You can just see there. So you can just see my subscription. So you can just see we're just doing my subscription dot unsubscribe. That's what we are doing when you have the ng on destroy. So when the components getting destroyed, so this method will called. So unsubscribe will be done for the my subscription. Let's move on to the next question. So how are observables different from promises? So although both promises and observables are used to handle asynchronous requests in JavaScript, they work in very different ways. Promises can only handle a single event at a time, while observables can handle a sequence of asynchronous events over a period of time. Observables also provide us with a wide variety of operators that allows us to transform data flowing through these observables with ease. A promise is just a way to wrap up asynchronous operations so that they can be easily used, and while an observable is a way to turn asynchronous operation into a stream of data that flows from publisher to subscriber through a well-defined path with multiple operations transforming the data along the way. Let's move on to the next question. So what does Angular material mean? So Angular material is a UI component library that allows professional to develop consistent, attractive, and completely functional websites, web pages, and web applications. It becomes capable of doing so by following modern principles of web designing, such as graceful degradation and browser portability. Next question is, so what is RxJS? RxJS is a library, and the term stands for Reactive Extension for JavaScript. And it's used so that we can use observables in our JavaScript project, which enables us to perform reactive programming. So RxJS is used in many popular frameworks such as Angular because it allows us to compose our asynchronous operations or callback based code in a series of operations performed on stream of data that emits value from publisher to subscriber. And other languages such as Java, Python, etc. also have the leverage to allow them to write a reactive code using the observables. And guys, this is all about the basic questions for Angular. So in the next question, so we'll see Angular intermediate interview questions, and also we will see Angular advanced interview questions. And yep, thanks for listening. So hope these questions will help you for your interviews. So all the best, and please like the video and let me know in comments whether you like the video or not, and please share it with your friends. It might be helpful for someone. Thank you so much.